All right, I'm back. We had Thor 193. This is Thor and Silver Surfer. I believe it's their second meeting from the time that they met in his book. Let me straighten that up a little bit, you all. Isn't a nice run of Thors. Now, these Thors I'm showing coming up next all came out of the 50-cent box. So you probably say with the box that fill up a short box for $40, they were less than 50 cents. So here they roll. We have Thor 238. Thor 261. Look at the condition on these books. Thor 273. This particular book with the Midgard serpent, it surfaced around Providence. I don't know how many folks had it that was collecting, but I've always liked that cover because anytime you got a hero going up against some kind of giant something, I was on board for. And I mean, look how big the Midgard serpent is. It's even crushing buildings and skyscrapers in the background. And I thought that was pretty cool. All right, let's keep moving. Looky there. Thor 281. This is the start of the Inhumans and the, I guess you would say with the Inhumans, not the Inhumans, I'm sorry, the Eternals. And this is where it says that Thor's hammer had vanished. And anytime you find this book, it's not really, sometimes not in the great shape if you're looking for it. And being a newsstand as well. Sometimes somebody wrote something in where the hammer is supposed to be disappearing and everything. And these are some good artists here with the Thor art. And I really do, really like it. So, and as we do, as I was saying at the beginning, we have our scripture reading. It's going to be coming from Matthew chapter 11, verse 28 through 30, and it reads, "Come unto me, all ye that labor and are heavy laden, and I will give you rest. Take my yoke upon you and learn of me, for I am meek and lowly in heart, and ye shall find rest unto your souls. For my yoke is easy and my burden is light." And that's what he was saying for his load. That's what that yoke is. That is his yoke, his burden. The burden that Jesus has for us, for his people, is easy. So he's saying, look here, he said, I'll trade you your heavy burden. I'll trade you for mine. Because even though we're not exempt, you all, we're not exempt, comic book community, when things happen, as I was telling you at the beginning, the hurts and the disappointments and the loss, we're not exempt. But we have somebody that we can turn to. Because just as I told you before, if I didn't have Jesus Christ, if I didn't know him for the pardon of my sins, if I didn't know that I could turn to him, when, even that you can turn to anybody, you can go to these different centers, you can go do this, you can do that. But unless you turn to Jesus Christ, he's the only one that can lighten your load, help you, steer you, comfort you. I'm trying to tell you, there's nothing like him, no matter how bad things get. And I could sit down and tell you some stuff about how bad things got for this old guy right here. But I'm just trying to tell you that the Lord will bless you. He can take care of you like nobody else can. Just think on your way, comic book community. Let us move on. Mighty Thor 285. I'm gonna put this whole run together. It starts at 280, and I think starts with 280 where he's fighting Hyperion, and then it moves on through. And like I said, finding these in any good shape is a chore in and of itself. But if I can get them together, 286. Now look, he holding Thor's hammer. Well, he's got the Thor and the Inhumans, Thor and the Eternals all locked up. I can't remember the storyline, you all. So hopefully, maybe when I get everything together, if the Lord bless delay is coming, we'll revisit it and go through it together. Yes. We have Thor 287 going up against Gilgamesh. I know a lot of people, they said, well, that's not Gilgamesh. Yes, it is. It's Gilgamesh. And it's Keith Poland art. And it's great. It's fantastic. He done a fantastic Thor. 290 going up against El Toro Rojo. He was a wrestler, and I forgot how he got his powers to where he was going up against Thor, but it was a good read. We have the Thor 293. This is my era of Thor. I know a lot of people say, well, you got to come up, and maybe I'm one of them people that just don't like change. Maybe that's what it is. I don't know. Thor 296. It's Poland also. Guess what, you all? We got some Simonson coming up. Thor 340. Thor 341. These books are nice too. 342. You know, I've got these, and the only ones I haven't got back in my collection as of yet. And I'll settle for a 5 or a 5.5 in a 337, a 338, and a 339. I will settle for that grade just to have them back in the collection. Same way with the Amazing Spider-Man, which if you run across, you may find somebody that'll be trying to sell $298, $299. You might be able to find them. They look like they done been chewed on by your neighborhood cat, but you might be able to, $10, $15 maybe. 300. That's the reason why I said I'm thank the Lord that they put out facsimiles, because as long as I can get a facsimile and have it in there, and I want the facsimile. I don't care. The only thing different on the book is maybe the paper that is done on and the price point. But you know, even with the facsimiles they made that says what was it when they put up over the heading Marvel something or other, they had something up there that took away from the book and I just didn't like. So I don't think I really own any of those. DC, when they started doing their facsimiles, I got that first appearance of Swamp Thing. But the only thing different on it is they got a big dollar in a circle stuck on the cover. So I figured eventually, we'll pick up some more stuff eventually. This is Thor 358, and all these Thors, like I said, came out of that box, that 50-cent box. And you can see by the shape on him, this man kept his stuff in great shape. What I like about him too was he said that he's about selling the books. Now don't get it twisted. He has some nice stuff. And I'll tell you, comic book community, he had a run of John Byrne X-Men. I guess the lowest one that I saw was probably 110. But then it went up, 110 up. And some of those books was running anywhere between $15, $20, something to that effect, which is not bad for a John Byrne X-Men in real nice shape. And, that's one of those type of finds where you just got to make sure you got a nice low interest credit card and I prefer cash. I still deal in cash. Brother Skimmy says cash is king. Well, at least I know that way. I ain't got to worry about trying to pay for it later. But to have something like that, and he had a lot of nice stuff. Those type of shows when you go to is you don't want to go with just, $40, $50. You at least want to be packing at least 200-300 on you just in case. You never can tell. And if I'd have had more money than what I had on me, because I think I ended up spending maybe a total of $50 total during the whole show. And if I'd have had more than that, I'd have probably walked out with 3 or 4 boxes, probably. Who knows? But anyway, Thor 358. Next, another one I've been looking for. Finally got me a 300 here back during the summer. Here's the Mighty Thor issue 400. I always like that cover. You know, I'm like I said, I'm not a completist. I just like what I like, you know. So we got that. And let me see. Last three books on the docket. Some Mike Grill action. We got the Warlord, issue number 4. Still semi-black cover. It still got some spine ticks on it, but it's still a great book. And this is old school. I call it old school Mike Grill. And so now I have probably with these probably 1 through 10. Is when you start going on up in the 20s and 30s when the book really takes off. I mean, these are good, but it really takes off then. He gets really into his barbarian mode, if y'all allow me to say. Issue number 5. And last but not least, and this is a beautiful book right here. This is beautiful. Issue number 6. Now, these didn't come from the 50-cent box. These those 3 I traded for, and Brother Paul. And so you know, I said it's just a bunch of them. He helped me finish up my between him and Brother Rob, they've been helping me finish up or fill some holes in for a lot of the later 70s run of DC stuff that I like. Claw the Unconquered, DC's version of Conan. Said there, I think he was born with a claw on one of his hands, you know, and he wears a glove on it. And I don't know how it works. If he takes the glove off, you know, whatever the claw was, they said it was some kind of demon claw. I don't know for sure. I can't remember. But he was just DC's version of Conan. I think he went like maybe 13, maybe 16 issues, you know, so you can pretty much find them all. First issue, of course, if you're gonna get it in real good shape, is gonna, I think I might have showed that. It might have been on in back in the other iteration of this channel. And but it has an all pink cover. So it really stands out. It really pops, you know. So other than that, you all, you know, you're gonna, hopefully we'll be showing you the next stuff. Now, I'm gonna tell you, the boxes I was speaking of at the beginning is the trading book box and comic book community. What I usually do is my wife will bring me a copy paper box home, and then I just go through my boxes. And if I'm decided I'm not going to do this no more, I'm not going to collect this no more, or maybe I'm having trouble trying to find other issues, because it's like the Heroes Reborn run where the Image guys took over the Fantastic Four, the Iron Man, the Avengers, and one more, you all. I always run out of that last book, Captain America. And so I think you had Liefeld on Cap. You had Jim Lee on the Fantastic Four. You had Liefeld. I think he done some... oh my goodness, did he do some Avengers? I know he done some Avengers covers. And then you had Wallace Patatio. I think he done Iron Man, if I'm not mistaken. But you know, I've almost got all 4 of those sets completed, with the exception of 1 or 2 sets. And that's it, just 1 or 2 sets to be completely finished with them, with all 4 of those issues, I should say, with all 4 of those sets. But hopefully we can get them done and go from there. But I'm gonna try to do less talking on the next one, because like I said, it's a copy paper box, and a copy paper box will hold somewhere in the neighborhood. It might be just 2 videos, or I might just give you an opening and then we'll just rapid fire and see, because a copy paper box will hold anywhere between 250 and 300 comic books bagged and boarded, depending on how you stack them in there. I'll have to tell you about my days before I was able to afford comic boxes, and used to use tomato boxes and and copy paper boxes. If you hadn't seen a tomato box is sturdy, but you had to lay the books down flat. And so, but anyway, hopefully, I'm gonna get that out here sometime this week as well. But anyway, for our last scripture, you all, hope you've been with me this long, will be Romans chapter 10, 1 verse 13. It says, "For whosoever shall call upon the name of the Lord shall be saved." Hey, you can call on him. He'll hear you if you're sincere. He'll hear you if you're not sincere. But when he acts on it, that's when you got to be ready. And the Lord will fix it for you. Trust me on this. Not only during this time, but any other time, he will fix it for you. I'm a believer. I'm a believer. And I love the Lord today. I love the Lord. I love you, comic book community. Remember, only Jesus Christ can fill that void in your life. And as always, come join me on the porch. It's nice on the porch. God bless you, comic book community. Be looking for the trading box. See you soon.